Anambra State will go to the polls on November of 2025 to either re-elect Governor Chukwuma Soludo or elect a totally new person to steer the ship of governance for the next 4 years. The frontliners include Professor Chukwuma Soludo of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, Nicholas Ukachukwu of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Dr. George Moghalu of the Labour Party, LP, and Chief Paul Chukwuma of Young Progressives Party, YPP, and a host of others. Naturally, one would expect a healthy exchange on the programs and policies arising from their various manifestos. That hasn't been the case in most parts. What has dominated the polity are things that don't have direct bearing to governance. There has been a lot of he said, she said, similarly reducing the campaign messaging to non-issue but personalized insults about the contestant spouses and the issues around paternity and fidelity in marriage. Who will benefit from this situation, coupled with the charged atmosphere seen from the constant clashes between government functionaries and opposition governorship candidates in Anambra State? Will the stakes be higher than expected come November 2025 for Ndi Anambra? This is the Eastern Eye. I am Alex Obodo. You're welcome to the Eastern Eye here on Afia TV, a program that x-rays the political, social, and economic developments around us. Joining me tonight is Ndoka Obikwelu. He's a veteran broadcaster and public affairs analyst. Thank you so much, the Duke, for joining me tonight on the Eastern Eye.
The pleasure is mine.
Anambra is on the news again. Anytime there is a governorship election in Anambra, it never ceases to provide talking points. Some say it provides talking points with screaming headlines. Now, recently, there's a lot of, if you like, name-calling, insults, personalized attacks within the campaign messaging. Is this now a constant in Anambra politics, or is it something that evolved over time?
Well, all these trading of words and insults and abuses have always been part and parcel of politics and the politics. Not just only in Anambra State, but almost nationwide when the contest is evenly skewed, evenly spread. It's not only in Nigeria or in Anambra State that you notice such. Even in America, the almighty America. You remember during the American presidential election, that Trump, even the almighty Trump, was exchanging brickbats with a number of opposition opponents. Apart from the ones he traded against Hillary Clinton, the exchange of words with Kamala Harris, and his spat with even in his own primaries in his Republican Party. This Marco Rubio, who is now his foreign secretary, you know, Trump called him Little Rubio. Not to talk of what his vice president called him when he wasn't yet the president, when he was still contesting, this current vice president. So, and the ones he called Sleeping Joe, Sleeping Joe Biden. So all this trading of insults is not peculiar to us, it's not peculiar to Anambra State. But the situation seemed to have degenerated somehow to ordinary throwing of brickbats, and got into personal level, to family affairs and paternity issues, which shouldn't have been. But it is all that is fair and good in politics. You throw in what you have, you use what you have to get what you want. If you feel that you have been defamed or you have been insulted or embarrassed, you try to fashion out your own ways or how to get back and hit your opponent back. That is as a revenge. That's what we've been seeing in Anambra State between the contending forces, the APGA, APC, where the Labour Party man has been somehow more decent. More decent. We have not heard of the Labour Party man throwing any exchange of words with any of the other candidates. Maybe he's still coming up with his own programs and manifesto. Very soon we get to see more of Judge Moghalu. For now, the people in the arena are the APGA candidate, Professor Chukwuma, Soludo, and the APC candidate, Ukachukwu, with his running mate, Uche Ekunife. So, it's not peculiar to Anambra State, but the thing that we forget so easily.
All right, so let's delve into the matter. And before the current issue came up, we saw, I think it was during the runoff or rerun that happened in some parts of Anambra, where the convoy of the deputy governor was either blocked or stopped, or there was a collision, whichever thing it is that happened between Nicholas Ukachukwu and the deputy governor, Mr. Ibezim, there in Anambra. And of course, we saw the threats to the office, because at that point, it is the office of the deputy governor, and the person of the deputy governor of Anambra State was threatened. It was clearly been told your car will be burnt and all that. So when you hear things like that coming from politicians, do you think it is sending the right message to their supporters? What kind of thing will their supporters do if you hear such things? And how has that affected the polity right now?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. The spat between Dr. Bezi, the deputy governor, and Nicholas Ukachukwu, popularly known as Chukwuma. The issue is that the deputy governor, moving from his constituency in Anambra Central and going to Anambra South to monitor the election, Ukachukwu felt that he wasn't supposed to move from his own constituency to Anambra South on election day because of restriction of movement. But because the party in power in Anambra State felt that something was going wrong, and if not checked and nipped in the bud, it's something it could be interpreted somehow, because it's because of trust deficit with the ruling, with the officials, that is the INEC, with the referees, that is INEC. There's a lot of trust deficit, and if you don't intervene in time, people say, okay, they refer.
That's correct.
That was why the the deputy governor, Dr. Ibezim, had to rush to Osumeni, Anambra South, were acting on intelligence report from their people, the APGA, those who monitoring for APGA, that something was amiss. I decided to confront the issue headlong. That was when he confronted Nicholas Ukachukwu because of their antecedents in churning out Idoshi result from that area. Remember the Idoshi result, Idoshi result from that Newi North, Newi South. So, and the deputy governor has immunity. But despite that, Ukachukwu was caught on video, on tape, dishing out threats, which people condemned, that it shouldn't have degenerated to that level of threat from somebody who is aspiring to be the chief executive of that state. That was it, when he was threatening that he will burn, he will destroy their vehicle and nothing will happen. That's an act of impunity. Yes. In as much as wouldn't know why the deputy governor had to leave his area of. In fact, he was supposed to be involved in the election because he's from the south, from the central, and the election was taking place in the south. But perhaps he got an accreditation from INEC as a monitoring team.
Yeah.
So that may have given him the license.
A party agent.
A party agent.
But anyway, that issue did not suffice on that day. There was no, he didn't say, okay, I was accredited to this. But the whole thing, the biggest thing there was that there was a threat to his life.
And the language used
that's correct.
Wasn't palatable. It was unwholesome language by Ukachukwu. And it was, this area, this time of period of technology, you wouldn't know when you are caught on tape issuing some tirades and these things. Well, in our society, this is unfortunate that people don't even take cognizance of all these language, the finesse, all these things. It's unfortunate that these things no longer count in voting.
That's right.
There are some other considerations they use in people coming up with. In fact, the more you show that you're a macho man, a strong man, or a mafia man, the more some people will be hailing you, hailing you. But in other civilized climes, if you manifest violence, people will vote you out.
All right, so let's talk about the incumbent governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, who quite a number of people seem to cringe at some of the things he said in the past. And the last he has said recently was about the certificates of the deputy governorship candidate for the APC, that is Dr. Ekunife, which prompted a response that has now gone viral all over the world. And the issue of paternity test has now arisen from that. I mean, in looking at it the way sometimes the governor crafts his words, especially regarding his opponents, do you think that this has now created something undesirable? Because when you look at it, it was from something he said about someone's certificate. And the argument there is that, well, he should have gone to court if he had problems with it.
Well, I don't think Soludo was wrong in questioning the credentials of his opponents, because we have so degenerated in our values in this climb that there are so many things we take for granted. If you are coming out for a public office, everything has to be scrutinized. And Soludo, being an academic, knows the process of obtaining a certificate. So when INEC uploaded the credentials of the candidates, we now discovered that there were a number of claims that did not add up. It's not just only on Uche Ekunife, but with some other candidates. And we have been tolerating things like that for too long, because when you say, they say, after all, you're President Buhari or you're President Tinubu, what does he have? No, that is Anambra State. Uche Ekunife submitted WAEC results. No degree, no masters, and then PhD from one American international university. So, it is in the public domain. And that was why Soludo started questioning how manage that he got a PhD without submitting the degree, because when you have it, you flaunt it.
Yes.
When you have it, you flaunt it. So, Uche Ekunife, so he was trying to say that Uche Ekunife's PhD, which he got from one American university, is questionable. Because, yes.
No, he actually said it was fake. I think that's the video.
Fake.
He said it was fake.
Yeah, fake, because they said that the National University Commission did not recognize that PhD. And then because he created a lot of suspicion. What of the degree? Because you may go to school, you may attend to school, but you did not graduate. You may not graduate. Maybe you have a carryover, you refuse to go back and finish up and get your degree or your master's. It's not a question of go to Nandaskiwe, go to University of Calabar. No. When Obama was challenged about his birth certificate that he was not born in America, that he from Kenya, all this, that he was born in Kenya, he presented his certificate. Obama threw his certificate when Trump was challenging him. He threw his certificate. That's how you disprove such a thing, and not to descend to gutter language. When you're challenged and you have your certificate from Nandaskiwe or from University of Calabar, you present it. That is it. So if I'm in politics, I will question, I will ask about certificate, because you don't have, when you don't have something, you claim you have.
Yeah, you're absolutely right that things should be questioned. But is it the duty of the governor of Anambra State to scrutinize certificates? Whose duty is it in this process to do that?
Yeah, it is your opponents that will do that, because they know that INEC will not be doing don't do the due diligence. Once you submit in it, INEC doesn't do the you know the type of INEC we have. They don't do the due diligence. Your opponents will have to scrutinize what you say you are. And that was why Nicholas Ukachukwu submitted the only school cert.
But isn't it interesting? How would INEC allow someone to submit a school cert without a degree, without a master's, and then submits a doctorate?
A PhD. That was why it called for question. But because she had, things like that had been allowed to get away because she had already gone to House of Reps, she had already gone to Senate, and then they felt too relaxed to start scrutinizing results. And in Nigeria, they don't scrutinize results. You must know that. In Nigeria, they don't scrutinize results. What you say you are, you are. And when you try to question it, they say, is this certificate I gave? You know, that kind of, but in a state like Anambra, a state of Chimanda Adichie, Ngozi Adichie, a state of Chino Achebe, a state of Professor Emma Agwali, a state of Lese Kweme, a state of Chubo Kadibo, intellectuals. So when you must govern that state, I think everything has to be X-rayed. You have to, if you have school start, say you have school start, that one will take you, but not when you have a school start, you say you have master's, you have the PhD. So Soludo wasn't wrong in questioning that one. But now, the deputy governorship candidate, Uche Kunife, is trying to reply, now descended to that gutter language. That Soludo was perfectly right in questioning, how come you uploaded school start and then PhD? It looks suspicious, but we're not talking of that matter now. We're now descended to other things.
That's correct, because
to paternity, which was very unfortunate.
Yeah, because Uche Kunife now, threw up. It looks like she just
she decided to prepare a bomb.
Yeah,
to neutralize and divert attention.
Detonated a hand grenade.
Yeah, hand grenade just to divert attention.
So where has that taken everybody now? So is the paternity going to happen?
Well, it's not going to happen. These are just the tantrums we have to be with you or live with you until after the election. The whole thing will die down. The whole thing will die down after the election. Nobody. People know that just a comic relief.
That's right.
Giving some bloggers some content.
I'm sure you know a lot about sports, When two boxers exchange words like this, there is only one way to settle it: to schedule a proper match for them to slug it out, to get into a slugfest. But for contesting political candidates, there's just one way to settle this: organize a debate. Are they willing to debate each other? Because that will solve the problem. Let them sell their policies and programs arising from their manifesto. Is it too much to ask for?
No, I think the debate will still come up. In the last election in 2021, there was a debate, but the thing was so heated again. Soludo himself, then candidate of APGA, went to extreme to even embarrass Andy Oba.
That's correct.
He contested with Andy Oba and Deval Ozibo. He went to another extreme. This certificate issue for Andy Oba, he used it again against them, against Andy Oba. So the thing was so heated.
Andy Oba also had his own talks. He talked about helping to make him the central bank
CBN governor. Where then Soludo denied that he was not the person that made him CBN governor. He was just instrumental. So it was heated. And this time around, we're still hoping for, because we're still in September. I think by October, they should be having their debate. But Soludo will not debate with Uchekwu.
That's correct.
Soludo will debate with
Uche will debate with deputy governorship candidates.
But since the thing has degenerated to this level, my advice to you is that they shouldn't be engaged in the debate once again, because it has gone too far. They have crossed the red line in their exchange of words. Somebody was saying that this person should call this person, apologize, and then reconcile. It has degenerated so much. You know, when you descend to the level of start accusing an innocent woman, that is Maya Soludo, start bringing her into the fray, and then questioning her fidelity to her husband. I mean, that's the lowest somebody can go. And I quite condemn the level which Ekunife descended, even though they will say, okay, the governor was the first to throw the first salve, but the governor has the right to question the certificates, the credentials of somebody he's contesting.
Okay, so the argument is that he stayed within the discourse.
Of course.
What stayed within the discourse. It was something that was submitted in connection with contesting the election.
Yes, because it is from the INEC portal that those things were uploaded, and they're uploaded, yes. So that's what Ekunife uploaded in her. So that's it. Nicholas Ukachukwu claimed he attended the University of Calabar, but when he uploaded his certificate, Unical was not there. He just put school cert, meaning that these people just attended the university, but they have no results. They have no results. So you remember this? The thing happened to Odunze. Odunze was coasting home to become the governor for Anambra State. But because it's an elitist state, they queried people, Anambrans queried his credential, his certificate. And eventually, under Humphrey Nwosu, as INEC chairman, they had to disqualify him. That was how Chukwuma Ezife now emerged the candidate of SDP that time, and came and became the governor of Anambra State. It is a state that prides themselves in commerce, in industries, in academics. So anybody that will emerge as a governor in Anambra State must be somebody who has at least to the level of first degree, because the state tries to come first in the education, in academics, especially during from P2B's era, P2B then to Obiano. Anambra has always tried to maintain the first position in academics in Nigeria, both JAMB, school SAT, and all these things. So, and if you are not very, very vast and qualified, in academics, what are you going to tell the students? Even though, okay, Ukachukwu said that he has a school, he's a school professor in Abuja, but that does not mean being a school professor is just doing business. Doing business. If you must be governor of Anambra State, at least first degree.
That's right.
Should suffice.
All right. We'll take a break here on the Eastern Eye. When we return, we will take a look at the chances of the various frontliners in the Anambra gubernatorial race. Join us after the break. You're welcome back to the Eastern Eye here on Afia TV, a program that X-rays the political, social, and economic developments around us. My name is Alex, but I still have Chief Nduka Obikwelo here, a veteran broadcaster and public affairs analyst here in the studio with me. So let's take a look at the frontliners. They are not the only ones. There are frontliners in this election, but I think there are maybe like 7 persons or more contesting the election. So, but Soludo, Ukachukwu, Moghalu, and Paul Chukwuma, all contesting for various political parties. Soludo is for APGA, Ukachukwu is for APC, George Moghalu is for Labour Party, Chief Paul Chukwuma is for YPP. So let's take a look at the candidates and their strengths and possible weaknesses. Let's take a look at the incumbent governor, Chukwuma Charles Soludo. Do you think that from what's on ground, that Soludo is the man to beat in this election, that it's his election to lose?
Well, Going by the mock exam they had some weeks ago, we will say APGA, the ruling party, is a party to beat. But in politics, 24 hours is a long time in politics. And you never say never, never until it's over. You know, in the last senatorial election, APGA scored 90,000. That is, the APGA candidate for Anambra South scored 90,000. And APC scored, Chukwuma scored 19,000. So it was a massive difference, massive gap. The party that would have given APGA a good run for their money is Labour Party, that is George Moghalu. But it's unfortunate that INEC dealt a terrible blow on Labour Party by sitting on the leadership issue of that party. And that created a lot of confusion. You know, after the Supreme Court judgment, which was supposed to end the tenure of Julius Abure, the INEC was still dilly-dallying and playing hide and seek to recognize the person who won the case in the Supreme Court, because two people went to court, Abure and then the Esther Usman. The Supreme Court said, your appeal fails. That is Abure, your appeal fails, cross appeal fails. Then your appeal succeeds. And still, they're still waiting for giving it a different interpretations. Since then, they have not been able to upload Esther Usman's name in the INEC portal. And then, even in that last election, they rejected the candidates nominated by Abure. If you now reject candidates nominated by Abure, why wouldn't you upload the names of the candidates nominated by Ndi Usman? So they just kept quiet. Despite the pressure that has been put on them by Abia State Governor Abia State Governor Alex Oti, presidential candidate Peter Obi, and Senator Anyanwu, Darren Anyanwu, also with the Senator Vitume, the guru himself. They have tried to, do consultation with INEC, but INEC seems to be waiting for instructions from the villa. So that's why I say, most of this is happening in these political parties who are contrived from outside the party. So because of that, there's a little doubt on the ability of Labour Party, George Moghalu, to be able to mobilize and give Soludo a good run for his money. So, apart from George Moghalu.
Yes, I just wanted a little bit of so that nobody will feel that we're focusing on anybody. I want everybody to have their own time on the analysis. So, specifically, based on what has happened in Anambra in the last 3.5 years, do you think that Soludo has earned himself the bragging right to be re-elected?
Well, Soludo has not earned any bragging right to be re-elected, but he's very, very lucky that he doesn't have a strong opposition, because what's the essence of governance? The essence of governance is for the security and welfare of the people. Soludo was nominated by APGA to become their governor because they felt that the oil money was going down, and Soludo, being an international economic expert, is linked to many international financial institutions worldwide. So he would have the connections on how to generate money for Anambra State. But unfortunately, the level he operated, or he's operating, has so much disappointed a lot of people that what he's doing now is what any other ordinary businessman, ordinary politician can do. There's no sign, sign to show that, no effort to show that there's something extra you become an economist, a former central bank governor, somebody who has all those the link, because he's been increasing so much taxes. Increasing taxes. That's how to, when you're coming to lessen our yoke, you are increasing their yoke. People, you need to create wealth for the people of the state. You need to attract FDI, foreign direct investment. You need to secure the state. But the state is not secured. You brought in, after so many bloodletting and bloodshedding, he brought in one group of security outfits called Agune Chemba. But the thing turned out to be Agune Limba. I must have to say it. It turned out to be Agune Limba because the thing they came to cure, just like catching somebody, a child from a house, burning house. You catch you rescue a child, and then you threw the child away again. So the thing is that security-wise, it has failed. At a stage, he tried to manage it, but it has failed. We have lost so many we have shed so many blood in Anambra State. Then you have not attracted foreign direct investment. Well, in infrastructure, he's trying to do well in infrastructure, doing some few roads here and there, from Amobia, Agolo Ekulobia, ongoing, from Agolo Neni, Nobito, from Neni, from Newi to Ozobala, all these things. Few roads like that, yes. But road infrastructure, it doesn't translate to democracy dividend, because military government can give you road infrastructure, can give you some of this infrastructure. We haven't seen that thing we are anticipating, the Dubai Taiwan that Soludo promised us. It's like he promised us something like 90%, but he's giving us only about 45%. That is so far. But there's no alternative to Soludo now. For now, there's no alternative to Soludo. People have to really make do. In a class where you have some dummies, the pass mark may be reduced to about 45%.
All right.
Because you have dummies.
Let's talk about the APC candidate here, Nicholas Ukachukwu, Chukwuma. Something happened, and I need to bring this in before you do analysis on his opportunities to probably clinch the governorship seat. Soludo, when the president visited Anambra State, said that the progressives are now working together and that he is endorsing the president. So Governor Soludo has endorsed the president, but the president belongs to a political party that is also fielding a candidate in Anambra State. So is the emergence of Nicholas Ukachukwu, is it an awkward situation now for the APC? Because from the analysis you've given here, it doesn't look like you think Ukachukwu possesses the credentials to give Soludo a run for his money.
Not only that Ukachukwu doesn't possess that credential, the APC wasn't existing in Anambra State. That is the issue. APC wasn't, because check your community. I am from a community in Anambra State. I am from Anambra Central. And I traverse to different communities. I'm not saying that you don't have party officials. You can have party officials or few, people you can lobby and gather because everybody wants to wear action where there's action using money and federal might. But the organic followership, the APC doesn't have that organic followership in Anambra State. I'm talking of normal election. Let us forget about the type they did in Edo or any other one they want to do, Edo election. But I'm talking of under normal circumstances, APC will come something like third in Anambra election because they have not been on ground. Even this mock exam they did, 90,000 to 19,000. If the Labour Party man, George Moghalu, should up his game, he will come second because of the influence of people like Peter Obi, Senator Victor Ume, and all these other guys. But for APC, no, it is a no-go area for Anambra, minus this monetized election they are doing now. That is a vote buying, minus vote buying and rigging machinery. Because since President Tinubu entered, all the elections they conducted have fallen short of the standard. call it in Igbo, Kogi, Ondo, Edo. They have all fallen short of standard. So, but why it will not work for them in Anambra State is that for you to rig, you have to be fairly popular. It has to be a little bit balanced for you to be able to rig. But if you don't have presence, it will be difficult for you to rig. That is what the problem the APC will suffer in Anambra State. The gap is too much. Soludo said this, they are working, that is their party APGA, working with the progressives. It is the fear of the federal might. He is succumbing to the fear of the federal might. That is, if you cannot beat them, you join them. So he has gone to Abuja to try to pledge loyalty and beg the powers that be, please, I'm supporting you people for 2027. Please allow level playing ground.
Yes, because in 2027, he is not on the ballot.
Yeah.
So he will be relaxed and then...
Yes, but he will try to mobilize because the APC will need at least 25% in Anambra State. Most south of Nigeria, Tinubu will not joke. He will try to get at least 25% because he doesn't know what the North is coming up with. That's why all these things that are configuring and manipulating to make sure that he gets the whole of the South before he goes for the battle with the North. So, Soludo is the fear of federal forces, of unleashing the federal forces against him. That's why he has gone to pledge loyalty and say they are working with the federal forces.
So let's talk about the Labour Party candidate, Dr. George Moghalu. What do you think his chances are? You've referenced P2B already, who still, as a matter of fact, maintains popularity in the land, not just here and elsewhere, all over the country. So do you think that P2B's popularity will count for something? And he's been quoted as to be staunchly supporting George Moghalu, saying that he's among all the candidates that he has the presence of mind to make a very good governor.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate. Time is no longer on the side of George. Time is no longer on his side. Coupled with the uncertainty in the Labour Party, in the last election, Labour Party was not in the ballot. As a result of that, P2B campaign for ADC candidates. So since then, people are now wondering, is he going to campaign? Because remember that ADC also have a candidate in this election in Anambra State, one Wosu. So they are now waiting whether P2B will campaign for ADC candidate or Labour Party candidate. But I know that he's fully in support of George Moghalu, Labour Party. But because of that doubt, it will be difficult for George to make impact. But if we do normal election, Labour Party will still come second. If we do normal election, Labour Party will still come second.
So another person who also ran the APC primaries with Nicholas Ukachukwu is Chief Paul Chukwuma. A lot of people believe that he should have gotten that ticket. I don't know what your analysis of that is, but do you think he has any chance operating now on the platform of the YPP?
Paul Chukwuma is swimming against the tide. There's this unwritten agreement. It's unwritten, but it's a gentleman's agreement about zoning. It's operating in Anambra State. Anambra North finished with Obiano for 8 years. Anambra South finished with Anambra Central finished with P2B and handed over to 8 years and handed over to Anambra North, that is Obiano. And after Obiano, the power went to Anambra South. You remember that this incumbent governor, Soludo, contested in 2010 against P2B from that South under the PDP. And he lost. P2B defeated him in 2010. Then he came back in 2013. He joined APGA and wanted to contest against against Obiano. Obiano was eventually emerged as a APGA candidate, going by the policy of the ruling party APGA, that is, you should go to the north. So Obiano emerged, but Soludo from the south wanted or went for the primaries. But Senator Victor, then national chairman, advised him that you should have patience and stay with the party until after Obiano, so that when it comes to the south, it will not be his turn.
You were picked.
So he accepted grudgingly. But even later, when Obiano was contesting in 2027, he wanted to come out again to contest. The party still told him, no, this is our policy, you wait for your turn. Now he accepted and then joined the campaign team of Obiano. That's when he came and made that popular statement. If it's not broken, why mending it?
Why fix it?
Why mending it? If it's not broken, why mending it? It was all over the billboard in 2017 when Obiano was contesting. So he became part and parcel of the campaign. And Senator Victor was the DG of the campaign for Obiano's second term. And Obiano won 21/21 in 2017. Now, after Obiano's 8 years, naturally he went to South. There was Chukwuma contesting on the APGA. There was this Chukwuma Soludo. And the party went for Chukwuma Soludo after a lot of litigations from Umoji camp. And then he has done 4 years now after winning. He has 4 years to go. One of the things going for him is that people from Central feel that he has only 4 years to go. And after 4 years, the power will come back to Central. So that is one of the things working for him. Because people like Ukachukwu or Moghalu are qualified to have 8 years, of which Central and North may not be favorably disposed to allowing them to serve for 8 years. Mm-hmm. But I used to tell people that even second time is not a right. Second time, you have to earn it.
That's correct.
Because when somebody is contesting, they say, like when Peter B said he would do 4 years, some people started attacking him, that he can't be trusted. But a tenure is 4 years. Nelson Mandela did 4 years. There's a whole lot you can achieve under 4 years. Alex Oti is using only 2 years to reposition Afia State. Afia State has rejoined in the committee of states that are progressive, that are doing very well. You don't need all these 8 years, 10 years, 20 years to make a mark. Just re-establish, refocus the state on what they should be pursuing and create avenues for revenue, for the state to gain revenue and create industries for employment, like in Enugu State, where this government is trying to revive some industries. So when you see now, when anybody is coming in now, you see that it's really the focus of the state. So that is what is happening. Chukwuma, Paul Chukwuma, is from Anambra North. He's swimming against the tide. It doesn't favor him. But politicians are incurable optimists. Politicians are incurable optimists. They will tell you no, that they have a chance. You remember when this man from...
So what is he banking on?
He's banking on that that the policy, that what do you call it, zoning, is not a policy of his own party. That it is a policy of the ruling party, APGA. But Anambra State have come to accept it, including traditional rulers, PGs, women, market women, and everybody have come to accept the unwritten gentleman's agreement. So, you remember that even PDP, when they were saying they are zoning to here, some people still contested from the other zone, but the party has known the person they are routing for. You know, like when they said in 1999 that they think should go to Southwest, the two candidates, Ulufalaye in the APP, and then Obasanjo in PDP. But still, Rimi from the North, Benebas Gemade or something from the North, they still contested with him, so swimming against the tide. Yes, because Nigerian Constitution allows you to contest. It's not a constitutional matter. It's a party decision, which is subservient to Constitution. So that is why, in spite of party decision, when party decides, some people will say rebel and say no, it doesn't, because it worked for them in Imo I must tell you, it worked for them in Imo because, you know, Olu senatorial zone have been ruling the state. Achike Odenwa from Olu senatorial zone. When he finished, the other guy from Guber tried 4 years. And then, over senatorial zone, they didn't get it. It went to the Rocha Sokorocha from Olu senatorial, muzzled it again. He's from Olu senatorial zone. He muzzled the power again and did 8 years. And after 8 years, instead of going to his deputy, Owerri senatorial zone, Hope Uzodimma muzzled it again from the man that won from Bise. Ihedioha muzzled it again. So giving Olu 24 years. You know, Olu senatorial giving them 24 years. In Kogi State, the Yahaya Bello finished and handed over to almost his cousin, almost from the same local government. So in certain states, yes, some people can use their superior power and muzzle it. But in Anambra, it has come to stay. Even in Enugu State, it's working in Enugu now. Sullivan from West finished, and then Buruburu. If you're going from north, and it's working. Then after that, to east, back to Enugu East Senatorial Zone. So he has started working in Enugu State. So it's a gentleman agreement, even though it's not written. So that is what is working against Paul Chukwuma. I don't know why he just decided to quit the APC where he was already rooted. Even though he knew that he would not get at the stage when Ukachukwu and Valo Zibo, United Airlines, the other man, Dr. Konkwo, or Professor Konkwo, when they started coming in, he now read the handwriting on the wall and saw that he wouldn't get the ticket of APC. But from nowhere, Ukachukwu left APGA and then bamboozled his way into the APC and snatched the ticket from nowhere. So that's where we are now. But the thing is, when you snatch it, I grab it. Can you run with it?
Yeah,
you can snatch it and grab it, but can you run with it?
Yes, and that's the aspect I wanted to ask you before we go in the next minute. Are you confident that the coming Anambra election will not be violent?
I cannot vouch that it will not be violent. The body language has shown that it's going to be violent. But I know since it's a one-off election, the security will be beefed up, like they have done in off-season election in some other states. Security will be beefed up, although sometimes the security will be compromised. They will be compromised and working to the dictates of some other external forces. So, but I won't be here and tell you that the election will go as planned, because some people who have become too desperate. Desperation has come into the matter now, that I can guarantee you that the election will be hitch-free and without violence. But on the whole, Anambra State knows how to do their things. After all said and done, a winner will still emerge. There will be few casualties, and then some others who feel offended might end up going to court.
That's right.
And the matter will end up in court. But on the whole, it's assumed that the ruling party seem to be cruising to victory. You know, I said that Soludo is a very lucky man. He is a governor who doesn't deserve a second term, but he may eventually get it because of the situation of opposition.
That's right.
Yes.
And that would be a good place to leave it. And I have to thank you so much, Chief Nduka Obikwelu, veteran broadcaster and public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for taking your time to analyze the situation for us here on the Eastern Eye. Thank you. And we'll call you again, because as things heat up, we'll need your analysis.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And that's the Eastern Eye for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, for another episode of the program. My name is Alex Obodo. Good night.